Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back inside real estate, sports, entertainment, politics. Time for some mortgage talk with our resident expert in all things mortgage, Terri Wagner. And by the way, hang tight for our sports segment coming up later in the show. We've got Jeff Benedict, the co-author of QB, My Life Behind the Spiral, the story of Steve Young. So hang tight for that sports segment a little bit later. Terri, how we doing?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
What's going on in the mortgage world?
Well, I thought maybe that I would cover questions that you should ask your mortgage lender.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So when you call me or someone else, preferably me.
That's right.
That's what we want, right?
It would be a huge mistake if they did not
Absolutely.
call you.
Absolutely. So one of the first questions is to ask them what their process is. How do you process my file? Will I have a pre-approval or a pre-qualification? We've talked about that before and the difference. And just to go over that again, a pre-qualification is me or a mortgage professional takes a look at your documentation, your credit report, what you're hoping to purchase, and kind of the scenario that you're setting forth, and determining from that whether it looks like we can get you a loan approval. A pre-approval is for us to put a full credit file together with the to-be-determined property address, and we submit it into the underwriter, and it goes through a full underwrite without a subject property, without a contract.
Okay.
That's a pre-approval.
Yeah, big difference.
We can do those, but in most cases, it's not necessary to do that, and it just adds time to the transaction, to the turn time on the transaction. So it's not necessary, but we can. I've had quite a few customers who want to get pre-approved before we send them out looking at a house, and that's okay. We'll do that too. How do we communicate with our buyers? Is our system safe? How will they get us their documentation? Ask those questions. Because like you were talking about the elephant insurance, you don't want to deal with someone who you can't sit down in front of if you need to.
Right.
We're local. We're right here. I will drive wherever I need to meet a borrower, because I believe it's important to meet them face to face so that they can see, yes, I'm a real girl. I'm here, and I'm not just some figment of their imagination off in another state.
Yeah, some random 800 number somewhere.
Right. So it's important to know how you communicate with us, how we can exchange documentation.
Yep, absolutely.
What is the down payment requirement? Just like Richard was talking about, excuse me, all the different scenarios that you would go through to find the right policy, same thing happens with your loan. Not any file is exactly the same as the last one. So every situation, every scenario is going to be a little bit different. So from that, we take the complete full application, which should happen during our initial conversation. And from that, we determine what loan type is going to be better for you, what the down payment requirement is going to be for you, what the turn time is going to be for you, all kinds of different questions that you can ask within that one question. Right. What's my down payment? Yeah. Okay. Do we participate in down payment assistance? We've talked about that so many times. It's still a great program. We help so many borrowers into a home just because they don't have their full down payment.
Right.
Doesn't mean, it's still a great market for people to buy a house. Interest rates are still incredibly low. Yeah. If you don't have all the money set aside, hopefully we can help you with that with just one of the down payment assistance programs that we have.
Yeah, we're still getting people into homes, with little to no down. Now some areas are more competitive, a little bit harder to find that property that we can get the seller to bite on this type of an offer. But in so many areas, we're still doing that big time.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you need down payment assistance, call Terri for sure.
Right. And then ask, a lot of people want to ask the very first question, what's the interest rate? Well, that's, again, mortgage loan officers, we used to get paid based on what your interest rate was. We don't any longer. So your interest rate basically is what you want it to be. You've got par interest rate, which is no credit, no charge. It's just what the market dictates. That's what your interest rate is for your credit score and your situation. Then you've got premium pricing, where you can go up a little bit on the interest rate and get some money back to help with some of your closing costs. And then you've got discount points. So if you want that super low interest rate, this is a house you're going to be in for a while, and you want the lowest possible interest rate there is, we can look at buying it down. Those are discount points.
Right.
So the interest rate is what you want it to be based on where the market is.
Yeah. And interest rates are so great right now. It's nearly free money.
It is.
It's the time to buy. There's no doubt about it.
It really is. And so then when we determine what loan type's going to be best for you, what's some of the guidelines that I'm going to have to meet? Am I going to have to meet some reserve guidelines? Do I have to have a particular amount of money in the bank? Those are the questions you want to make sure that you don't leave up to your underwriter or up to your loan officer to determine at a later period that we have a problem. So are there some requirements? Do you have investment properties? Because if you do, there may be some additional requirements there. Be sure and talk about all of that with your loan officer and make sure that they have all of your information as well. Right. It does need to be a two-way conversation, okay?
Right.
It doesn't just need to be me asking all the questions. You need to be asking questions and providing information back. And I'm gonna get a little bit on a soapbox here. Don't think you're going to hide something from your loan officer.
I always love that. Oh, no, we've never done this. Well, your history says you did.
You did.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find it. I'm like a little investigator.
That's right. We have access to Clinton's FBI, and they will do whatever we say.
No, we don't. No, we do not.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I don't want access to that.
But tell Terri the truth, because guess what? If you do, we're going to figure out how to get you into home.
Well, and then we know what box to think outside of.
Yeah.
If I have the whole story, I can determine which direction and which turn to make so that we can get you into a home.
Yeah, I mean, and as a consumer out there, you are not, well versed on everything that there is to do in mortgage. You can be a well-informed buyer to a degree, but you're never going to have the knowledge and experience that Terri has. She needs to help guide you to the best place, and she cares about where the best place is for you, the best type of loan product. With all their vast array of loan products, she can get you to the right place.
Absolutely. Yeah, I enjoy what I do. I like being able to help the customers get into the right mortgage, not just get into a mortgage, but get into the right mortgage.
The right one.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep, absolutely. Folks, TerriWagner.com is the website, TerriWagner.com. Go to the website, you can fill out an application there. And, of course, you can catch up with Terri by phone, text, otherwise, give her a shout. Folks, we're going to take a short break. Come on back for our sports segment. See you in a few.